Welcome to the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Ducks, poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama Show. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. The ladies are screeching, they're hurling those names. Snake, liar, fraud. It's their favorite game. No problems defined, no solution in sight. Just a merry-go-round of emotional fights. Subs egg it on, they're loving the mess. Trauma bonding nightly in this hot circus press. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. It's a borderline's dream, this emotional ride. No facts, just feelings with nowhere to hide. They gather each night for their drama parade. Significance found in the mess that they've made. So tune in tomorrow, the circus won't stop. Crama's true crime keeps the drama on top. With insults and screams, it's a wild, wild scene. Crama's true crime circus, fighting to be YouTube's drama queen.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. Sketty Nona, Team Doocy Doo 222. How are y'all doing? It's so good to see you. All right. There's other people here, but people don't come in and say, hey. They just come in and wait to be entertained. That's my job. Okay. Look, is YouTube true crime, drama, crama, streets nuts? Have people lost their minds? I ask you, if you believe that there is a virus among us in the drama, crama, true crime world of YouTube, put a 1. If you think everybody's behaving perfectly normal, put a 2. Ruth, Retha, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. How many of you guys have seen Trisha? Trisha has gotten herself into a little bit of a pickle. Who's been watching that? Listening in, getting ready to take my daughter to Easter egg hunt. Doris, embrace those moments. They go by so quickly. Enjoy every second of it, because one day you're going to be a little old lady like me sitting and doing a YouTube channel, because all those sweet kiddos are going to be grown up and out the door. And you're going to be going, damn, I wish I had an Easter egg hunt to go to. So enjoy today. I'm glad that you've got that. Daz Larson, welcome. It's good to see you. Oh my God, Retha. Oh my God. You ladies, Trisha and Stacy, I think it's fair to say they've gone off the rails. Okay? Completely off the rails. Texas Lassie, welcome, my friend. What now? Is there anybody here that knows what I'm referring to? Look, things have gotten wild in the world of a web sleuth. Trisha seems to be a problematic individual. Yeah? Trisha, Skating Nona, it's crazy. Crazy story that is unfolding. Good. Daz knows what I'm talking about. Daz. Oh my God. Who does that? Who goes on a public platform? Like, this is public. When I started YouTube a long time ago, I had the conversation with my husband and I said, when you start going on a public platform and you start voicing opinions and things like that, you are probably going to trigger some people. Like, that's natural to expect is going to happen. And what do we need to do? So one of the things we did is we protected certain information. We also had them come in and put in a great security system all the way around the property. Not because I thought I was going to be famous. I mean, there's a lot of people that know me just because of the kind of work I do. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the very specific problem where I may voice an opinion, I may say something on this public platform that another person might really get triggered by, take a really bad feeling away from it. Let's face it, we're living in a day and time where people are not using their words to work through problems, right? You got people like Julie Skolnick, who has made it a hobby to go to court. You've got other people that are literally buying plane tickets so that they can fly 12 states away and confront JLR, an already known felon, restraining orders for domestic violence. And you got to go to a completely different state to have your showdown. So people are no longer content to say, hey, what happens on YouTube stays on YouTube. And I'm not going to let YouTube go real life. They're going real life like crazy. Hillbilly Belinda, they're going crazy on the streets of YouTube. And now it's spilled out into the damn community. Correct? Jolene's the greatest. Yeah, I love Jolene. Absolutely. Housewife. Texas Lassie, thank you for being rational. Who the hell has the money to go real life off of stupid YouTube? Who even wants to spend their money on that crap, right? So I do think with Julie and her never-ending background checks and lawsuits and all of her crap, she's not spending her money. Apparently her mommy gets in on this. Apparently it is her mother who is funding all this, not even poor Al. I think Al is long suffering. Al, save yourself, buddy. Save yourself. But I think Julie's mom pays for her attorneys to do these real life attacks on people that, in truth, if you turned off the damn YouTube, you would never even know what was going on. Can we be honest? Right? But because you have trouble with boundaries, Julie Skolnick and others, you take what is happening on YouTube where, look, there's somebody in Zaire, like Africa, continental Africa. There's somebody in Zaire that I talk to all the time online. Now, in what life could I do that, like in my real life? You think I'm just going to pick up a telephone and call Zaire and have a long conversation? Of course not. The internet provides us an avenue of contact and influence that has never before existed, and people are not adapting. People are not assimilating into the new reality. Here's the new reality. You cannot possibly interact on YouTube and believe that it is an extension of your real life, because you will be inundated with uncontrollable situations. You, I would love to know how much money Julie Skolnick has already spent on nothing. No one has done anything to her. No one has hurt her. No one has, you know what they've done? They've said, Julie Skolnick sucks. She's a terrible person. She's a bad mother. She's dumb. That's the great egregious harm that's been done to Julie Skolnick, that she had to go running to her mommy with tears. They're stalking me. They're harming me. I'm in fear of my life. I need a lawsuit. And mommy says, oh, my poor baby. Oh, my poor baby. Let me get my money here. Oh, my God. Poor baby. Oh, my poor baby. Here, go get you an attorney. Oh, my poor baby. Shut up, Julie. Shut up. It's YouTube. Nobody cares. And you know what, Julie? If you turn it off, if you find you a new set of channels to go watch, guess what's going to happen to all your fears and all your worries? It's going to poof into thin air. Go away. You are choosing to go over to Brittany J's channel and to listen to Craig babble. And look, I'm going to tell you straight up, he's a ridiculous human being. The things that he says are egregious. To say that if he had a little boy who sexually assaulted his sister or another little girl, that he wouldn't want to ruin his little boy's life. He wouldn't want to ruin his life. So he would just send him to military school. This was Craig's contribution to a discussion about Joseph Duggar and Josh Duggar. Well, you wouldn't want to destroy his whole life. Oh, really? Because the little girl's life has been destroyed by your son, Craig, in this hypothetical. And why do you want to take a kid who's already acting out in an antisocial way and put a gun in his hand? Why do you want to do that? How's military going to help with that exactly? So we have Jules. We both had wrenches in the beginning when Julie Skolnick came to this platform with her allegedly autism advocacy and resources that turned out to be absent, and she targeted the drama. I am repulsed. Rosebud, it was the strangest thing I have ever witnessed. She comes on this platform like gangbusters, let's be honest. She jumped right in there with Clue and everything. And I said, well, let me see who this lady is. Is she really educated? Has she really done these things? Is she who she says she is? There is a person, I'm beginning to wonder if it might not be like a sister of hers or a daughter, maybe. I don't know. There is someone who is a spitting image of her, who is a very educated person, who has written books and things like that. And she does look like Julie. It's very weird. Is Julie a scam artist? Is her name not Julie Skolnick and she's just pretending to be this other woman? When all this first came out, I thought, no, there's no way somebody would do that. You wouldn't find someone online that you look like and assume their identity and then come into YouTube and make a public platform, right? I said that. Enter stage left, Trisha of Websleuths. It seems that Trisha is not all that she claims to be. And it seems that she has quite a history of taking other people and assuming their persona. She seems to have in the past, there's evidence, and J is for Justice has all this up. Jolene Lunzer is the one that discovered a lot of this stuff. But in the past, Trisha found dead people or knew someone who died and then used their name on a social media profile and began interacting in real life using their social media, began acting out on people in real life as the dead person. Trisha, honey, are you just a scam artist? Like, is that how you make your money? That's your trade? Is you just use the internet to exploit others? It is creepy getting on it. It's creepy. Hey, Yvette, I'm so glad you're here. Good. Micro Blue, it's obvious if you watch the gig. It is craziness, right? That she was able to take her platform and build it up into something that on surface seemed to have credibility. Now we know Othram Labs has said, Beelzebub, you're Beelzebub, back off. You stole $58,000 from us. You need to get away. Move along, little Trisha, to your next victim. Allegedly. It's weird, y'all. If you have not seen this information coming out, you have got to go over to Everyday with Jay. I think First, go to Jolene Lunzer's channel. The first video to watch is one that was done 8 or 9 days ago. Okay, that's the first one where it comes out, ooh, something weird happened in here. Okay, so watch that. And then you can work forward. Once you get up to date on Jolene's channel, then go over to Everyday with Jay and J is for Justice, because she's got all the legal documents. Like, it's not pretend. It's not fake news. Trisha could be in serious trouble. One of the things that is happening currently, not historical, but it's currently going on, she seems to be in the process of claiming 7 figures, $1 million, from a dead lady, one of her subscribers that passed away. She literally filed court documents asking a judge to make her the executor to her subscriber's estate. That includes a $250,000 house that's paid off, a Lexus, a Honda, and 2 bank accounts that total up to about 7 figures. There's nothing anywhere in the paperwork that says Trisha's name. Nothing. She's not named anywhere in it. Out of nowhere, she is approaching the judge and saying, make me executor. This was my friend. She wanted me to have everything. Do you know what Trisha did? Man, you guys, this is a crazy. When I tell you to go to watch Jolene Lunzer and to go to Everyday with Jay, there is not a true crime story right now that matches this. This is it. This is the big. When the friend died, Trisha was going up to the hospital and I guess helping this friend as she's dying. She's an old lady. She's a little old lady. She's going up there helping. Well, her story, her claim is that her friend wanted her to go to the house and feed the pets because the fur baby mama was in the hospital. So she says, you go to my house and feed my animals. So Trisha gets in her broken down old Honda and drives to the house. Well, while she's gone, magically the friend dies. Trisha, it's a weird story. I'm sorry, but it is. But your behavior after your friend dies is 100 times weirder. Weird. So let me ask you this. If you were helping a friend, an elderly friend who's in the process of passing on, and they say, please go feed my animals, and you say, absolutely, I'll go. Do you need anything from your house? You want me to stop and bring you something special from the store? I'll be right back. Right? And then you go, and you get a phone call that says, your friend is dying. They just died. What would you do next? Like what seems to make sense? What would be the logical, rational behavior? You would say, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And you would sit down and you would cry and you would take extra time with the pets and love on them, right? You would call a family member. Is there anything I can do? Or if you know that your friend has no family member, can I help in any way? My friend doesn't have any family. I'm the closest that she has. Do you need any information from me? Here's the funeral home that we're going to be using. Isn't that what you would do? It's what I would do. Let me tell you what Trisha does. This is wild. You know what she does? She goes running back up to the hospital, okay, not to help and to talk to the nursing staff and to tell the doctors about the funeral home. No. She has to get up there to get the old lady's phone and purse. I shit you not. She admits to taking her friend's phone and purse and leaving the hospital with them. She stole them. She stole the subscribers, the dead subscriber who's worth $1 million. She stole the phone and the purse and left with it. Trisha, bad behavior, Trisha. Boundary problems, Trisha. Now, the story is not fully well-rounded and complete until this part. You may ask yourself, well, how did this old lady end up with $1 million estate? Like, that's quite a sizable accomplishment, right? Especially, she's never been married. She never had any children. All of her previous family members, like brothers and sisters, they've all passed away. They're gone. How does one little old lady build up an estate of $1 million single-handedly by herself? Oh, she worked for an oil company. And every day of her life, she's paying into her 401, paying off a nice house. She's living her best life, tending to her own business, right? There is a friend named Daphne that we have come to learn. Daphne They originally met through the oil company where they were both working. But ask me what Daphne does for a living. Daphne is a financial advisor as a profession. It's actually the lady, the subscriber, it's her financial advisor. Daphne is the person that has all the documents. This lady has been talking with Daphne, making her investments, giving her it was Daphne that came up with the will. Okay. So Daphne knows everything about this lady, all of her financial undertakings. She has all of the information that a court would need to try to sort through this whole mess. The lawsuit that Trisha went to the judge with said there's no will. There's no will. And this was my good friend. And my good friend told me by her mouth that she wanted me to have everything. And Daphne pops up and goes, not so quick. I seem to have a will here. Okay. So there's a will. Guess where this lady wants her money to go? According to her own will, that Daphne came up and said, I don't know who this Trisha lady is. I don't know what this heifer's up to, but I'm the financial advisor. I've been in this lady's life for decades. I'm the one that has been making all of her investments. I'm the trusted individual in her life. And here is her will that she gave me. Brace yourselves. In 2011, 15 years ago, this woman had a great relationship with Daphne, has been letting her invest her money, gave her her will. They're like this. It's a real relationship. There's documented evidence over a 15-year period of time. But you got old Trisha running to the judge saying, oh, she was my best friend. We were the very best friends on the planet. She wanted me to have it all. No, I don't have anything to prove that. But I'm a good person. I have Websleuths. That's all the proof you need, Judge. I have Websleuths. It's all mine. This Daphne woman is committing fraud. Shut up, Trisha. Fraud? This woman comes up with a will from 15 years ago. She's in the same company, this Mobile Oil. She's in the same company. You're accusing Daphne of fraud when you're the dumbass that jumps up and says, make me executor, even though my name is nowhere in this accomplished woman's documentation and information. Is that what you're saying, Trisha? You're going to jail, girl. They're going to come for you. You have been caught red-handed. And your act about, oh, I'm just a little old lady. I'm just a little old lady. Don't come for me. It's not going to work. The prisons are full of little old white ladies committing fraud and other atrocities against people. Okay? So now Trisha is backpedaling and she's trying to control the narrative. And you get to see the real Trisha. It's wild. And again, it just like with Julie Skolnick and the boundaries problem, this is a problem of boundaries, isn't it? That if we're on YouTube and we make friends with you guys, like Hybrid Pisces, we've been friends for a very long time. Cinnamon Hot, Yvette. There's so many people in here. We've been good friends. How many of you guys do I get on the phone with and talk? Never. Nobody. I don't do that. I have boundaries. My real life is my real life. And YouTube or online is YouTube and online. I don't let them intermix, right? Just like when I go to work, I don't talk about what's going on with my children or my marriage. When I'm with my husband or I'm with my family, I don't talk about my my work. I don't talk about patience and boundaries, people. Boundaries keep you safe and, most importantly, sane. When you start violating your own boundaries, you go nuts. You want an exhibit? Let's look at it. Exhibity JS, Julie Skolnick. She has zero boundaries, not bad, poor boundaries, zero boundaries. And would we say she's not very healthy? Now we find out the same is true of Trisha. Trisha is violating a very real boundary. It appears that she's using her platform to find victims. Who else did that? Lauren and John Matthias did exactly that. Do you know I heard a clip on Jay's channel last night? I think it was last night, where Lauren Matthias, and if Kresha comes in, she probably has it available. But Lauren Matthias actually said the words, Kay and Larry Woodcock were her security blanket. Lauren, they're not your they're not your anything. They're victims of a nightmarish crime. They're victims of a real life monster. And you, in your mind, because your boundaries are so effed up, in your mind, you said, oh, there's Kay and Larry, my security blanket, my mommy and daddy. They make me feel safe. Are you crazy? They've got 2 murdered children that they're trying to grieve. They've got a brother, even though Kay came from a large family, Charles and Kay were like this. They were buddies. They were partners. She wasn't so close to other siblings, but Charles was her person. Your security blanket? No, I'm sorry. No. And you've got John Matthias violating boundaries. Oh, I want to adopt Colby. Colby is a grown man who is grieving the loss literally of his entire family. Everyone was wiped out. And you have the audacity, the hubris to make an offhanded comment like, I want to adopt him. Do you know how gross that is, John? And you're supposed to be an expert in human behavior. So I'm giving you all these examples of violation of boundaries. Violation of boundaries. How do we know? When we're online and we're making these friendships, or we're getting into these arguments or disagreements, how do we know that we're in trouble with our boundaries? Well, here's one thing. If your relationship with an online person is driving you to commit a felony, I'm going to say you're having boundary problems. Okay, Trisha? If your answer to a friend, an online person, a friend, a subscriber dying, is to go and steal her $1,000 phone, and I'm sure her purse was probably a couple $1,000, you've committed a felony theft. And I, for one, hope Texas prosecutes your ass. I can't think of anything more gross than running to the hospital room of a woman who has passed away and you scavenging her remains. What's in here that's worth it? I need some value. I need some money. What can I get? Oh, look, $5. Mine, $5. What else we got? Oh, look, let's see what we got. Let's see. Oh gosh. Oh, 20. Look, 20. I got some money now. I got money in my book. No, nothing to see here. Let me take the, no, nothing to see. Bye. I sure love that old gal. Trisha, your behavior is at a level that is jaw-dropping crazy. So you're having boundary issues. I got to dig money. My bra. Wait a minute. Where's the other one? Here we go. Okay. All right. Sorry, that was embarrassing. So you're having boundary problems, Trisha, if your relationship with someone online drives you to commit a felony. You're having boundary problems, right? Julie Skolnick, you're having boundary problems if your relationships with people online, even if they're negative relationships, are driving you to file false claims. Craig never threatened to kill you. Never. Not once. Nope. You know what you want to know what Craig's guilty of? I'll tell you what Craig is guilty of. Craig is guilty of getting drunk in his own house. I don't care if there's a camera on or not. He's in his house. You can clearly hear him talking from what you can only guess might be the sofa. Maybe he's in a gaming chair playing a video game. I don't know what the guy's doing, but he's far away from the microphone and he is babbling. He's babbling from the effects of too much alcohol and frustration and hurt feelings, perhaps worry about their financial situation because Brittany J's channel has really been disrupted by all of the reaction channels. So he's frustrated and he's drunk and he's babbling and he hates Julie Skolnick. So he calls her old and he spends a lot of time talking about how she's jealous because she can't get pregnant. I mean, it's weird, you guys. There's no redeeming person in the mix. It's just a sad, gross, trashy situation that comes down to one issue, and it is boundaries. Okay? So if you're online and you're having these relationships, these friendships, whatever you want to call them, enemies, whatever you want to call it, and it's driving you to commit felony theft, you're having a boundary problem. Or if it's driving you to spend your mother's money so that you can bring false charges, you're having boundary problems. It's so strange and so cruel. Things have gotten, I'm even going to say this. Look, I love Nerdy Addict. I do. I don't love him, but I love his content. I like his channel. I even watch White Boy. I think White Boy Lockdown is interesting to listen to. Okay. But when you start spending your own money to buy a plane ticket, to go and taunt a guy that is currently up to his eyeballs in legal hot water, and JLR is in trouble. JLR is probably going to go to jail. Okay. I can't make that happen, but I understand with his history, which is quite long, with his history, with the way this is all unfolded with Magnolia, I think there's going to end up being some real problems for JLR. So why do you want to interject yourself into that and become a part of that problem? You don't want to be a part of that. Let the legal system follow through. Cover the story by all means. I think if someone had blown the whistle on Barry Morphew, I think that it's possible Suzanne Morphew would be alive today. I don't think you protect domestic violence perpetrators. I think you shine a bright light on those situations for the safety of the women and children and animals that are in that home. You put a bright spotlight on it. You say, look, buddy, everybody knows what you're doing to these people, and they better not come up hurt, because if they do, you're getting the electric chair, right? That's kind of how it unfolds. And JLR is damn lucky And I know this is weird for people that really like him and they follow his channel. Here's the truth. It's possible that the only difference between Barry Morphew and JLR Investigates was luck, sheer luck. That with Suzanne, maybe he just pushed her a little too hard. Maybe her head hit just in the right spot at the top of the neck. Maybe pushing her, she hit her temple on an item. It is very possible that Suzanne died as a result of an accident that he then went back and covered up for his own freedom. So JLR is going to face the music. That is coming. But White Boy and Nerdy Addict, and look, Nerdy Addict and JLR, they've had things throughout history. They don't like each other. Does it make good YouTube? Maybe hoping to see a showdown, hoping to see these 2 adults or 3 adults go at each other. Perhaps, maybe it's views. I probably maybe. But when we're talking about boundaries, so that the decisions that you make for your life don't end up with you in more hot water, you may want to consider that. If there's an online situation, if there's a YouTube personality that is prompting you to spend $700-800 for a plane ticket to fly 12 states away so that you can have an online showdown, you might be having problems with boundaries. One of the reasons that boundaries have become such a big focus is because it's the thing that stands between you and disaster, right? This thing with Trisha, this was all about boundaries. Even this part of the story. Apparently, she was living in a log cabin. And the log cabin, the roof caved in. It was decrepit. It was no good. And Trisha is poor and has no money. So she laments to her friend, her millionaire friend, subscriber, I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know what I'm going to do. And her friend says, come to Dallas. I'll get you a place to live. That's the way it happened. And Trisha loaded up her crappy little jalopy car and made the drive from, I think it was Wyoming, maybe it was South Dakota, all the way to Dallas, Texas, where she proceeded to move into a little 1-bedroom, no-nothing apartment a couple of miles down the road from her millionaire friend. No one stopped to say, Trisha, this may not be okay. Trisha, it may not be okay for your subscriber to pay your rent. That may not be okay. You might not want to get that close with people who, without the internet, would have never crossed paths with you in your life, ever. But that's what she did. She moved to Dallas, moved into a shitty little apartment that apparently, and this is speculation on my part, Beth was paying for. The millionaire subscriber was paying for Trisha's apartment. Isn't that why? It's nuts, Nona. Nuts. It's one of the biggest cautionary stories about the internet that I've heard. So here's why it's a problem, though, okay? So as long as the lady is alive, she's paying the $1,200, $1,000 a month rent. Not really that much. She's paying it. Trisha's feeling happy and all is well, right? But then the lady dies. I think she had cancer. So the benefactor who's been paying Trisha's rent, who was responsible for making Trisha move from Wyoming down to Texas, she dies, and now Trisha doesn't have any way to pay her rent. So she's getting evicted. Is anybody beginning to understand why these boundaries matter? Nobody would have predicted that this lady was going to die. Trisha thought, sucker, rent free. I get to live in Dallas, Texas, rent free, because this lonely old lady is paying for me. Yes, seriously, C-Star. Go to J's for Justice, Every Day with Jay, Jolene Lunzer. They've got the court documents. It's there. Bigger in Dallas, as they say. Nerdy Addiction has a ticket and has covered this on TikTok. Why was JLR at the airport anyway? No, JLR jumped right into it, Julie. JLR jumped right into it, and it's like, battle. JLR is not backing down. No. This is gonna be like bighorn sheep. Bam, bam, bam. Is the Nerdy Addict, White Boy Lockdown, JLR, all now stalking each other, maneuvering. That it's got the potential to be a firestorm. It does. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think it all happened like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. She ended up making the move down. And then the benefactor, the money horse, she died December of 2025. And then it was maybe February when she filed court papers that said, there's no will. My friend died unexpectedly, but she told me that she wanted me, Trisha, to have all the money. It's a wild story, guys. There was another lady that did the same kind of thing, Mommy Ramblings. Mommy Ramblings found somebody, I believe the woman was from England, and there was money, allegedly, there was money. And I think her husband died and her child died. And so you have this lonely young woman with money who doesn't have anybody. She literally came to the United States, and Carolyn, Mommy Ramblin', let her stay at her house with her children. A lady she didn't know. A lady from England that had clear mental health problems going on. Money, honey, money. Oh man. And it was all fake in the end. It wasn't Mommy Ramblin' exploiting and scavenging this woman. It was the lady from England that was actually scamming Mommy Rambling's community. It was wild. Okay. So yeah, J Bells. Thank you, Nancy. I couldn't remember the lady's name. Yeah, J Bells. So boundaries, y'all. Okay, we've got to. If you come to YouTube, if you come to TikTok, and you say, this is a place that I'm going to find a friend and I'm going to go meet them in real life and I'm going to move in with them, you're having a boundary problem that could have devastating results. Okay? Devastating. So be careful. If your online friendships are causing you to commit felony theft, you have a problem. If your online relationships are causing you to file false, felonious charge on another person, you might have a boundary problem. If your friendships on YouTube cause you to try to steal $1 million estate from a dead lady, you might have a boundary problem. All right. Okay. I have to go. I hope you guys have a great, great, great Easter weekend. I hope the Easter Bunny finds you tomorrow, but I'll be back a little bit later on today to actually talk about true crime. Okay. But people, do not commit felonious theft when your friend dies. Don't do it. Just say no.
Welcome to the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Duck's poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama show. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. The ladies are screeching, they're hurling those names. Snake, liar, fraud. It's their favorite game. No problems defined, no solution in sight. Just a merry-go-round of emotional fights. Subs egg it on, they're loving the mess. Trauma bonding nightly in this hot circus press. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. It's a borderline stream.